Hi, this is the Sprint 5 report for Murray Campbell. Uh, let's get right to it. So, this week was pretty stressful. Let's just go into the game real quick and just take a look at what has been done. So, we have a little bit of terrain in here right now. I actually wanted to start out by talking about my sound system because I put some work into that as well. So I didn't have to warn you about that, those noises there. I'm pretty sure because I've been working just a bit with volume and trying to figure that system out with Fmod, and it's actually pretty simple. It just took a little bit of messing around to get it to work just right. I now encapsulate Fmod sounds and their own channels in a class called sound. So in this class, so you can kind of see that here, I have a pointer to an Fmod sound, and then each sound class has its own channel that that allows it to control various values like panning and volume and other things like that. Like the channel class like gives it basically some control over that sound playing back, and then we have a pointer back to the system that's kept in the audio manager. I haven't needed that yet, so I might take it out, but that's there. It's really simple right now. There's really not much in here, but it just encapsulates this and allows the user to pretty much ignore the fact that this is using Fmod. What the user has to do here is all they have to do basically is tell the audio manager to play a sound. They give it a sound, and this sound can be something that basically they've loaded this sound. I've explained this before, but they load the sound in audio manager, and then they can get that whenever they want, and that returns a sound now. So you can see the get function returns a pointer to a sound object. And then I added another parameter here just for volume. Originally I was trying to figure out a way to just I had setting the volume contained in the sound class, but that's not necessarily how Fmod likes to handle its like actual volume. Like you can set the volume of a channel, but those effects only take place after the sound has been played. It's really strange. I have to do something weird here, but after doing this, it made it a lot like easier to work with, and it's pretty easy to understand past this. So basically, we played the sound and we set the pause. This parameter is like a paused value, and we set that to true. So it starts out, it plays it, and it's paused. So it's like it's there and ready to be played. As soon as you unpause it, which you do that down here, that's when the sound plays. So you play the sound, and you tell it to pause itself, and then you tell the channel to set its volume, and that's how that works. So that's why I had to have the volume in the actual play sound function. That might be bad for the user, but for now it's fine. I think it's okay, honestly. Yeah, everything else is just like getting the system to work with my new sound class. So the user does not interface with Fmod sounds at all anymore. Only the audio manager does, and the user doesn't look at that. So that's good. That's all done. Okay, so terrain is pretty much how we want it. I have not figured out how to do collision processing yet. I've been like kicking this for hours over the past like few days, and it's just like I will get to it, or I will finish it. It's just like I couldn't get it done in time tonight, and I have like midterms and things like that going on that I need to study for. So yeah, so the way that I want my users to use terrain, I think, and this is just makes the most sense for me, and is the easiest way to do it, I think, is basically having them in the scene define a terrain. They don't even have to like derive from terrain. It's fine. They can just have a terrain object. They call new on it. Give it a file path. Give it its dimensions and other things like the texture key and all of that. And then they just add it to the scene, and it's there, and it's just fine. So that's good for now, I think. I am thinking a bit about like terrain, like offsets, and taking that terrain and offsetting it by a certain, like, because we know the origin, and if we can set that origin anywhere, then we can place the terrain anywhere in the world. We don't necessarily have to just like have it centered. But that's for next week, I think. Anyways, going into that, it's all pretty straightforward. I mean, I pretty much like did what I was meant to do. The image file is a TGA, a Targa, and you can kind of see it here. If I just render the wireframe, then you'll be able to see the verts more clearly. One second. Yeah, so this is all here. Kind of just made a little mountain, tiny mountain. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah. So it takes this height map, interprets it, gives it generates the verts and the tries and all of that, the UVs, figuring out how each of those like functions work, like figuring out the get vert index and get pixel index functions, and figuring out how to map the UVs was a nice little math challenge. Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. There is there's not much else. I just I didn't get around to anything related to collision with this, so that's like next up, and next week in the video report I'll go into detail of that, and that will be up and running and working. It's just kind of a dodgy week. But anyways, that is it. I've been talking way too long, but yeah. Alright, thanks. See you later.